This is the Real Estate Zone on KLBJ with John McClellan and Kevin Bown. Call them with your questions at 836-0590 or 877-590-KLBJ.
And welcome back to the show. This is the Real Estate Zone. It's our weekly radio show about Central Texas real estate. It's about making money, not losing money. It's about being educated, and it helps to turn your microphone on. Phone number's here, 836-0590. That's 512-836-0590 or toll-free, 877-590-5525. Questions, comments, would love to hear from you. Remember, one of our favorite things to do on this real estate radio talk show is talk about different areas around town, and we're going to give you our opinion for what's happening and give you some strategies for today's market. That's at 836-0590. This part of the show, we're going to be talking about interest rates. We're going to be talking about what do you do if you don't have money for a down payment. We've got some really cool bond programs, state of Texas bond programs we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Homes for Heroes, Home Sweet Texas, and the Bond 79 program, what you need to know about those, and how you can get into a home with no money out of pocket here in Central Texas, if you can find a house.
I remember Bond 77. Does that mean
the Bond 79 now?
Did I miss Bond 78?
It just flew by. Yeah.
Oh, it was a great year.
Speaking about flying by, here's a young lady that flies by every Saturday about this time and joins us here on the show. Where in the ATX is Kelly today?
Hey, good afternoon.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi. Well, I'm coming in with some news about a pretty centrally located, I think, very groovy, very hip neighborhood right off of Lamar and Airport Boulevard, where the density of that area is just, the rapid growth is crazy right now.
No doubt.
There is a builder that's putting up both townhomes and single-family homes, though, and so that's good for what you were talking about earlier as far as the builders keeping up. So they're going to be having in that neighborhood a total of 330 total homes. Half are going to be single stories and half are going to be affordable townhomes. It's almost like a mock-up version of what was so popular over in the Mueller development, but on the other side of the tracks.
Gotcha.
So it's neat, it's new, it's a different style that's on the edge of contemporary. Close to everything, right on the Metro Rail, and pretty aggressively priced for the market.
So give us a quick glimpse at pricing for that product that's sort of infill. Well, it's really right in the middle of town, right?
Right. It's just right on the outskirts, kind of squished in between the Crestview and the Allendale neighborhoods that are growing in popularity by the day. So their townhomes come complete in the 260 range, 260 up to, say, low 300s. And then you can get a single-family detached home in lieu of a townhome starting about $370. And that's just completely
and new construction
upgrade.
Too, for that matter.
And newly constructed
Brand
and
new.
energy efficient, low maintenance lifestyles, and all the newest and greatest that they have on the market. So,
Hey, Kelly, let me ask a question. Are those townhomes, are those actually considered townhomes, like attached single family, or are they considered condominiums?
No, they're actually attached.
Okay, so it's lot and block.
Exactly, and they'll have like 3 in a row and then 4 in a row. It's all the same 5-6 floor plans, but they just mix them up.
And by the way, that's just a typical financing, just like a single family detached would be. Buying a townhome, don't confuse it with a condominium. That does get a little bit trickier. Townhomes, if they are lot and block, are treated just like single family, but they're attached single family as opposed to detached. So no real change in underwriting guidelines for those. So easily you could go with some of those, especially the ones at $300,000 or below on the townhome, FHA loan with 3% down, 3.5% down. And in a few minutes, Kelly, I'm going to be talking about a bond program, the Bond 79 program and the T-Shack program. And one of them, you don't even have to be a first-time home buyer, where you could actually use an FHA loan and they'll pay your down payment for you. And in actually one of the cases, especially with the T-Shack program, it's a grant program, never even have to pay the money back. So you could actually get infill, $300,000, get somebody else to get the state of Texas to pay your down payment for you.
Well, and put a twist on it, this builder, too, is now you can do a apartment above the garage, so you could even potentially have some income coming in.
Wow.
Nice.
That makes it affordable, doesn't it? Well, hey, Kelly, thanks. We love when you call in the show every week. Kelly is one of the brokers over at 12 Rivers Realty.
Right.
And, Kelly, tell them how we can get a hold of you if they want to find out more about these amazing deals.
Yeah, absolutely. You can go to my website at keepaustingrowing.com, keepaustingrowing.com. My phone number and email is on there. Reach out to me and we'll make an appointment.
All right. Thanks, Kelly. We appreciate you calling in.
See you next week.
All right.
Huge value. What a great area.
Oh, absolutely. And especially with some of these bond programs that are available out there. And I'm going to get into that in just here in a minute. But first of all, I want to remind everybody you can call in too and pick our brains about real estate, about mortgages. 512-836-0590. That's 836-0590. Kevin, probably one of the biggest questions that I get on a daily basis, and I even see it sometimes on the news. I was watching CNBC.
Where's the best biker bar in Austin?
No, that's being answered on a minute-by-minute basis right now.
Yes.
No, the biggest thing I get, like I said, I saw this on CNBC the other day, and all these talking heads, they never get it correct. They're like, oh, you need 25% down to buy a house. You don't need that kind of money to put down a house.
Right.
Especially if you're not geographically sensitive, you can go outside the city limits and use a USDA loan for 0 down payments, very low mortgage insurance on those, no money out of pocket. There are some income limitations, but they're pretty liberal. But there's also within the city limits, and if you're using an FHA loan, there's a multitude of bond programs out there. One of them is a silent second lien. That's the Bond 79 program. There's no recapture tax with this one anymore, so if you move out early or do something, you don't have to pay any of the money back. Basically, it's a silent second lien that the state loans you at 0% interest rate and 0 payments for 30 years. It gives you 5%, 3.5% go to your down payment, 1.5% goes to your closing costs. You can get the seller to pay some of your closing costs, get into a house for free. Also, there's another great program out there that's not a silent second lien. It's actually a true grant program where you never have to pay the money back, and that's the Homes for Heroes, where if you're a teacher, EMT, a firefighter, police officer, a veterinarian, a nurse, anything like that, you qualify for this. You don't have to be a first-time home buyer. It's 5% money. It's a grant you never have to pay back, and all you have to do is be one of those types of people, like an educator in the state of Texas, work for a school system, work for a hospital, work for a doctor, work as a fireman or EMT or a policeman, and you can get into this with no money out of your pocket, up to a $300,000 purchase. And I think a lot of people overlook that. They're worried about, I know rents are going up, but man, I wish I had a down payment to go out and buy a house. Well, guess what? If you're following out, it's available out there for you. And like I said, the Bond 79 program, you don't even have to be one of those teachers or firefighters or policemen. Anybody can qualify for that one.
And is that a first-time buyer on the Bond 79?
It is on the Bond 79.
What's that mean, though? Is it really first-time buyer or just not in the last 3 years?
Not in the last 3 years you can have owned
so
a home.
if you sold a home 4 or 5 years ago, you're back. You're a born-again first-time buyer.
That's exactly right. Yeah, if you want to know more about this, we have a call screener. His name is Jonathan. Just give him a call at 836-0590. That's 512-836-0590. He can just give him your email address. He'll send you information about this amazing program out there for Texas residents, up to a $300,000 purchase where you get all your stuff paid for. You can get into a house cheaper typically than it is to rent out there. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Let's go to Maurice. Maurice, thanks for listening to the show. You had a question.
Yes, I have a home for sale in Bastrop.
Okay.
And I bought it in 1998, and it has a shared well with 3 homes on it. And so they just charge me annually for the well.
Right.
And I got a mortgage on it then. Am I going to have trouble selling that with it having its own well?
Well, so it depends on. I don't think you're going to have a problem as long as there's an agreement in place. And is there who's managing this well? Is there like an HOA that manages it?
No, it's just a gentleman that owns the property.
One of your neighbors?
Yeah, so you're going to have to have.
So you just pay him some money every year?
Yes, exactly.
So there's going to have to be agreement in place that y'all have a shared well, and there's going to have to be probably what's the
sort of a utility easement or something?
Yeah, exactly. So is there a time limit? Do you have to renew it every single year?
No, in fact, actually, he doesn't even want anything in writing. It's just a shake of the hand.
Well, that's where you may run into a problem if it is a shared well, because the appraiser's probably going to notice that, and they're probably going to want, the new mortgage company's going to want something in writing that they're going to have access to that well water if that's your only source of water in the future. Because obviously, if that guy decides, let's say he sells a property, or if he just has a change of mind, he decides he's not going to share his well water anymore, that could adversely affect the value of that property. So you are going to run run into a problem. So if you do decide to sell the property and somebody wants a typical loan on it, which is going to be your biggest buyer pool, you're going to have some kind of agreement in writing with him. And, if I think we got your contact information, I can give you a call this next week and tell you how long that agreement will have to be, because it's probably going to have to be more than at least 1 year. I'm saying probably 3 to 5 years, maybe even longer than that.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that would be great. I appreciate it if you'd call me back on that.
All right. We'll make sure you got your number. I'm looking at Jonathan. He's got that. Appreciate it, Maurice. Let's go to Tina. Hey, Tina, thanks for calling the show. You had a question.
Hi, yes, thanks for taking my call. I have a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house that I'm renting out. I'm a first-time landlady, and it's at Lamar and Koenig, and I'd like to know what the market value to rent that out is.
So there's a variety of product over there, I guess. Could you describe to us, is it one of the 40s or 50s built homes, or is this a detached second unit behind a home?
No, this is originally built in 1947.
Okay.
And it's 1,140 square feet.
Okay.
It does have central air and heat. The kitchen was remodeled about 15 years ago.
Okay.
The rest of the condition, I would just say, is average. It's not a real fancy place.
And it's sitting on a full-size lot, so it has a big backyard?
It's a small backyard.
But it has a backyard?
Right.
So the last one that we leased, very similar to that floor plan and size in that area, went for $1,450 per month, and that was about 3 or 4 months ago in that specific area. So I think you'll actually have seen the rents have indexed up a little bit, and you might be approaching the $1,495 range.
Okay. And is there any demand for a furnished house in that area?
Well, we're on the cusp of the evolution of short-term rentals.
Right.
If you went the short-term rental route, then having it furnished becomes almost a requirement.
Yeah, I did consider that route. I am still considering that route.
Well, good. Well, we'll certainly visit with you on that. We have placed several short-term rentals for some of the big festivals this year and last year within our company at 12 Rivers Realty, and so we can visit with you about the short-term rental side of things. If you're going to do term rentals, then most tenants have their own furniture, so the furnished aspect becomes more and more desirable the shorter the term goes. So the longest that I would say you would want to lease it as a furnished unit would be perhaps up to 30 days through some sort of a corporate avenue through one of our corporate partners.
Yeah, but she said it might not be in the best of shape. Maybe it needs some upgrading, which people typically on the shorter term are going to want a little bit more upgrade. Correct?
Exactly, yeah.
So, yeah, it might be the best. Without seeing the property, obviously, the long term might be best if it's not an updated property. However, what Kevin's saying is rental rates are definitely escalating over there. There's a tight supply. And, I mean, would you sign a lease for longer than 12 months for tenants in that area?
If I were the landlord,
right.
Probably not. It's the market's changing so fast. You'd want to be able to look again in 12 months to see what's going on. But this is something where if Jonathan got your info, we'll certainly come out this week and put our eyes on the property, of course, at no charge, and tell you, well, I think you might be better to go this direction or better to go the other direction, and give you some info.
Hey, Tina, thanks for listening to the show. We really appreciate it. Hey, guys, you're listening to The Real Estate Zone. The phone number here, 836-0590. That's 836-0590. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to take more of your calls right here on News Radio KLBJ.